Thank you for tuning into our podcast, Canal Days, What Life Was Like in the Industrial Connecticut River Valley of Massachusetts. I'm your host, Carrie, and joining us today is Holyoke's very own local historian and creator of the historical tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Como. He personally offers and leads public and private tours, as well as presentations of historical sites within communities throughout the state of Massachusetts. Currently, the communities that he has chosen to focus on this year are Holyoke, Chicopee, South Hadley, and East Hampton, and also Granby and Amherst as well. His tours spotlight on the local canals, reservoirs, cemeteries, and churches, as well as various parks, streets, and selected historical houses within each community. In today's episode, we'll be discussing Chicopee City Hall. So, tell us about the history of Chicopee City Hall.
All right. Well, there's a lot to tell you, including the architecture of it, and also what's around that area, why they might have put it there, and also what's inside it, just a tiny bit, at least as historic. All right, so it's located near Front Street, and it's pretty much considered the center of Chicopee, and it's a gorgeous place. It was very well made and well designed. And it was finished in 1871 and dedicated that year. And when it was made, it was Chicopee Town Hall. Because Chicopee was made a town in 1848. It did not become a city until 1890. So in 1871, this was dedicated as Chicopee Town Hall. But then it became the City Hall. And you can see the construction of it is a very nice look to it. It was modeled after a certain building that I'll talk about next. But I hope you go and see it because it has a nice look. There's a bell in that tower. There's a lot to see inside and out. A lot to see in the whole area, too, because the canal is right next to it.
And what is the architectural style?
All right. It was modeled after the Palazzo Vecchio. It's in Florence, Italy. And it was a good look to it, and so the architect must have agreed and designed it that way. It also was constructed by a local contractor who was very important in the area. His name was Charles McClellan, and Charles made many of the homes in Holyoke, maybe about 300 of them. He also helped build the mills, the Dwight Mills, and the Ames Mills, and he helped with the walls on the Chicopee Canal, the canal that's right by this City Hall. He also helped out in Holyoke, helped build the first dam and the walls. He designed and helped execute the walls of the canal there and the worker homes that are in Holyoke. So he did a lot for the area. He's very important. But if you go there and you look at this beautiful City Hall, you'll be entranced by the nice look of it. It almost looks like a church, and that is for a reason, because they wanted it to be a very elegant look and a very special look, so people would be very proud of what they had done.
And really quick before we continue with the rest of our interview, just to fill our listeners in, if you want to find out more information or sign up for any of his various tours, you can check out his website at holyokecanaltour.org. And there you can also find videos and podcasts of the stops along each of his tours, as well as photos and text of the historical sites throughout as well. And for private tours and other inquiries, you can email him directly at bobcat4214, capital B, @yahoo.com. And his tours make for fun, educational outdoor activities for families and group parties. So getting back to our interview, tell us about the area in the immediate vicinity of the City Hall.
Well, there's a lot in that area, including the Chicopee Center Canal called the Chicopee Canal, and of course the mills along it, which are the Ames Mill closest by, but a little further away are the Dwight Mills, which replaced the Perkins and the Cabot Mills that were there. So that in that direction is an enormous amount. But there's also the former Chicopee Public Library right by the side of City Hall, and there used to be a lot of worker houses across the street. A lot of those have been taken down, so you can't see them anymore. But going up Springfield Street, very quickly you'll see 4 churches. So this is a very elegant area, and the City Hall, the way it was constructed, blends it very well into the church atmosphere of the whole street.
And tell us about the plaques just inside the doors.
All right, so if you walk in the front doors of the old Chicopee City Hall and look within that area, you'll see two plaques. And the plaques are the engraved names of the men who gave their life for their country during World War I, who were residents of Chicopee itself. So I believe there's 62 names, and so it's a couple of very big plaques. And it really does honor them greatly. Now, if you want to see outdoor monuments for all the wars, there's also on Front Street at the War Memorial Park. That's only about a mile away from this. And you can also while you're there, go into City Hall and see what the design inside is like. It's been refurbished a few times and is being refurbished presently. And in back, there's also an annex, and the annex houses at this point a police station, for instance. But the star of the show, of course, is the Great Tower, and there's a clock on it, but I don't think presently it tells the right time.
And historical topics of your expertise. And we want to thank our listeners for tuning in. And you can check out a large selection of other podcasts on his website as well as on SoundCloud.com. And be sure to check out new videos and podcasts posted daily. Thank you for joining us.